Hey guys, what's up? It is a new weekend. We are filming again out here in the shop because we have all the parts of the motor. So hopefully by the end of this weekend, that silver Miata out there on the court is gonna be running, and I won't have to be bumming rides from people all the time. Interesting fact is that's gonna be my winter car this year. So yeah, well I'm not sure how well that's gonna do. We'll figure it out. Got to get some studded tires for it for sure. But yeah, I got all new bearings, whole new crank, and everything. So first of all, I got to start off by scraping all this old RTV off so I can actually put stuff back together correctly. So yeah, that's the plan. Okay, so this is the crank that I pulled out of the motor. It's only got 300 miles on it. But like you guys saw, it's got crazy wear spots where the thrust washers were. But this is the new one, and there's subtle differences. And this one is a lot heavier. And the height's different is just because I have bolts right here, so it's not they're the same size. But I'm a little worried because multiple different things. What I think it could be though is that this motor, the BP motor, was designed for a whole bunch of different cars. It was actually just kind of band-aided together to fit with a rear-wheel drive car for the Miata. But there were like the Ford Escort and a couple other cars these motors went in, and the cranks in those were cast cranks rather than forged cranks because of the cranks that went in the Miatas were forged. And what I'm thinking happened, this one is not an OEM crank. This was a reman crank that the guy that I bought it from had put in. And so what I'm thinking happened is he probably bought a crank for a different car that was a cast one, because you can see the really grainy structure. And then I'm wondering if I got a forged one. I can't tell. I've never seen a forged crank before, but this is way smoother and it is way heavier. Which makes me happy and sad at the same time, because obviously you don't want heavier rotating pieces in your motor. But if it's a forged crank, then it should be more reliable. So I don't know. We'll see. I guess if it fits in the motor, or I guess if it doesn't fit in the motor, we know obviously we can't use it. So yeah, we'll figure it out. Hopefully it works. So just as an update, we just got all the new bearings and the crank in, and this crank actually is correct after some further research. It is the correct crank, and it actually is forged rather than cast. So it's actually a lot heavier, but it's going to be a lot stronger. So if I decide to turbo the motor in the future, I shouldn't have to worry about internals, because the rods and pistons in these are somewhat reliable at certain amounts of boost. But so everything's put together, nothing's torqued down yet, everything's just pretty much hand tight. I got to go look up some torque specs, and then we're gonna put everything together, and then after that it's just bolting stuff together. Should be able to put this motor back in the car real soon. Alright guys, it is now probably like, I think it's like 7 o'clock or so. It's been taking us a long time to work on this thing, because the last guy, I'm not joking, probably used 2 like giant bottles of RTV putting this thing together. So there was a lot to scrape off, but got the oil pan on, everything's sitting in there good. Just about to turn the motor over so we can start working on all the timing components. So everything's coming along. Should have the motor put back together tonight, completely done, and should just be able to start tomorrow by dropping it in the car. So let's hope we get there. Alright, so sorry we haven't been keeping you guys in touch really, but we were just plugging along and everything just kept going together really easy. We have been taking a long time because we're just trying to make sure that our timing was all set up right and all that stuff. So motor is basically ready to go into the car now. All we need to do is put on the clutch, flywheel, and transmission, and then it's...
And the motor mounts.
Motor mounts too. Yeah, actually, I guess that's pretty important.
Might help.
It might help a little bit, yeah. Yeah, other than that, I think we should be ready to go.
Fire tomorrow.
Alrighty, we got good news. Motor is back together and ready to go in the car. Got the transmission all bolted up. It's literally ready to drop in the car right now. The only thing we got to put on is like, see, the fuel rail's already on. So just like the upper intake and all the intake hosing and all the coolant hoses.
Accessories.
And the accessories like AC.
This car has AC. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
I actually got a cruise control too in a manual, so it's kind of funny. But yeah, so tomorrow morning we're gonna try to wake up early, see how well that goes. We probably won't get up early, but we're gonna put the motor in the car, get it running, try to drive it around here for a while, break it in, then do an oil change. So yeah, we'll get back to you guys in the morning. What's up, guys? It is now Sunday morning, and me and Will are now heading into town because we got to go pick up some transmission fluid. We do kind of live out in the woods, so driving into town is like half an hour one way. So we got to get that out of the way before we start working on anything. It is going to take us a while, so we just need to get it out of the way because I am supposed to be driving this car into college at like 7 o'clock tonight, and it's already 10:30. So we got to get this motor in the car, get it running, and do a full break-in and change the oil at least once, and then we're good to go. So we got a lot of work to do, so we're gonna get going, and hopefully we can get done by the time that I need to go. All right, we just got back. I just put the car on jack stands, and I got the motor in the air. We're just about to start putting it in. Got all of our oil and everything, so we should be good to go. Oh, there's parts everywhere, just so you know. And I am a little bit bigger than you. Ready to crank? Yep. Why is my blinker on? Hey! Oh! Let it run for a while. Can you get that thermostat opened up and get some oil? My transmission, or my check engine light is on. It's running really smooth though. Put that cap on, Will.
Sounds pretty good.
Sounds really good, actually.
Real quiet. Quieter than my car.
Alright guys, we got good news and bad news. Good news is it runs, and it runs really healthy. And we had to have an issue with the thermostat or something. It wasn't getting coolant through the motor for some reason. I don't know why. I'll figure that out. But the other issue is injector number 4 is got a tar O-ring on it, and it's leaking fuel. Actually, it's actually really dry over here now. I don't know. We'll let it run for a little bit longer and see. I don't know. All this, what is all this? Oh, this is all this from us dumping this out earlier. So, as of right now, it's looking like I'm not going to be able to drive this tonight, which is pretty sad. But, I mean, I guess we could go take her for a little rip. Just to the stop sign and back, man. I don't know. But yeah, coolant's running through it now. We just took the thermostat out and we're just letting it run without the thermostat in it. So that's the current situation. What kind of sucks is that we're only home during the weekends because we got school. So really not going to be able to get to work on this again until next weekend. So I guess I just got to order some new O-rings for the injectors. I guess that's all we can do. So it is what it is, I guess. What's up, guys? It is Monday morning. I ended up staying home over the night because my first class doesn't start until noon, so I can afford to leave Monday morning. This morning I woke up early, got the car started, checked a whole bunch of stuff, and wasn't sure if I was going to drive it or not. The injector doesn't look like it's leaking anymore, which is good. I'm still going to get new O-rings for it since that one is broke, but it actually sealed itself kind of. It's not leaking any fluids, but what's weird is the rattle that we had before we completely rebuilt the motor, what we thought was a rod knock, is already back. It took about 5 minutes worth of running for that knock to come back, so I don't know if it's top end related or what, but it's not the crank anymore. But I'm glad we did replace the crank because, as you guys saw, it was put together wrong and there was some severely wrong issues with it. So it was going to have to be replaced sooner or later anyways. But I'm driving the car right now and I just wanted to go send it, I guess. Drove it this morning for about an hour or so, put about 40 miles on it, and then changed the oil as you're supposed to when you're breaking a motor in. On the second oil change, and as soon as I did the second oil change and I started the motor, the check engine light came on, and I have no idea why that's there. The check engine light was on when we very first started the car too, and then it went away, and so I'm hoping it just goes away again. I don't know if it's because maybe when you first change the oil, maybe there's something in there telling it that there's not any oil. I don't know. Hopefully that fixes itself, I guess, because I don't know what it is. If it's still there by next weekend, I'll probably take it to O'Reilly's. They do a free computer check and probably let me know what it is. They just use a little sensor. But that's the plan right now. Hopefully we might be able to actually get some content midweek because I do have a car now, and if it stays running all the way through college, and I can probably head over to Will's house, and we got some stuff. We could probably swap tires again because those are mine, and I